Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Erie Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. I did a video earlier, but I want to do a follow-up with some talking points that I thought about why Biden and others actually do want a civil war or / insurrection. So stick with me, if you would please. I have 10 talking points to give you a whole picture and the direction these evil people are headed and taking us with them. So let's get started. First off, starting with lockdowns. They were designed to train the public that the government knows better and has complete authority. Plus, they usurped our freedom of speech, assembly through laws, censorship, and other ideas. So they've already started to ball in motion that the government has authority and you have no rights except for those few deemed worthy, meaning DIY stores, casinos, Wally World. But you couldn't go to church. You couldn't go to the movies. You certainly couldn't go to concerts, but you could have a riot. So it was selective in who they locked down, what they were allowed to do, what we were allowed to do, but it was all by government designed to program the public. How many Karens did you see on YouTube screaming at somebody that didn't wear a mask or took the jab or anything else? It's all by conditioning for the future. Number 2, censorship. If we cannot talk with one another, share ideas, we cannot form plans or alternatives to the government decrees and other ideas that strip away our rights. So censorship, they're forcing us to accept the government narrative and propaganda through the communist news networks. Number 3, destroy our history. We've seen statues coming down for no reason at all. This is all by design, folks. Destroy our history and our culture. Give them a blank slate, rewrite it. We were once a racist nation, but no more. Come on in, illegal immigrants. Bring your flags. Bring your values. Bring your culture and replace what they took away from our history. The government can rewrite it and control the narrative for the future. This is all communism in the purest, simplest form. Destroy our culture and history. We have nothing in common after that. Pervert our laws. Boy, we've seen this going left and right. Criminals that belong in prison for life are set free, yet people that are of conservative nature, of white skin, receive the maximum sentences and are persecuted and prosecuted, just like the sham January 6th committee and what actually happened. And I am not approving of the people that committed violent acts on or against the congressional building. However, new footage showing there was a lot of details left out and a lot of question marks as to who was actually involved from the Department of Justice, the FBI. Yet, the communist-led, Trump-hating congressional hearings was one-sided only, and the whole objective is to destroy Trump and the people who support the Constitution and the values. Okay? So this is all part of destruction of America, ultimately leading to point number 10. Create economic downturn. First day Biden's office. Immediately cancels pipelines, oil leases, raises the price of everything, destroying America economy, but uplifting our enemies. Argentina, Iran, everyone else to the front of the line but America, to create an economic hardship so people become dependent on the government for food, clothing, fuel, and money. Pure and simple, this is how you destroy somebody, by making them slave labor and compliant to the government wishes. You don't get to go anywhere, you don't get to buy anything, you don't get to do anything unless the government gives you money to do it, and they'll hold the purse strings over that. Literally change the complexion of America. You've seen this, 16 million illegal immigrants already in this country and more. A majority of them are non-white. Why? You replace the white majority with a brown or other complexion majority that are already reliant on the government for all their needs, as many of the people coming from South America, uneducated, they're more likely to vote the way you tell them because they are already dependent on the values. Bypassing the whites and the blacks here in the United States by changing the complete physical complexion is another form of control and changing America forever. Create division in America so 50% of the people, and Biden's already highlighted this, by saying he absolutely deems MAGA, conservative, ultra-conservative Republicans, and there aren't that many, a direct threat to democracy by placing derogatory labels on them. White supremacists, Nazis, insurrectionists, haters of America, homophobes, by placing the derogatory labels on the people that support our Constitution and want to make America first in priority, create that division of hate. So if 50% of the people are not talking or hating the other 50%, the evil, corrupt government and the politicians in that government can do what their plans are intended through distraction. You think about that. This is all right out of the playbook of Saul Alinsky, who taught Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Create a large conflict between the states' rights and government rights. We're seeing this right now. Who has the most power? Who has the most authority? Is it an election year? What governor or president is the most popular? Do the people back that person? Are they within their legal authority? These are all questions to create the conflict intended. For number 9, declaring an insurrection. This term has already been introduced, already been labeled to the people who support our Constitution that are generally white in nature, declaring the governors that support Governor Abbott the right to defend their state from this lawless president by declaring an insurrection and determining, in theory, that Governor Abbott is an insurrectionist and he has gone over his authority. This would give Joe Biden and the government more power to arrest, subdue, threaten other states. You get the one that's in the lead, put him down theoretically, arrest him, imprison him, and the other spineless people who are less committed, such as Governor DeWine here in Ohio, he's a jellyfish, they'll say, well, we'll think about it. Maybe he overstepped his bounds. By declaring an insurrection, Biden would have more authority. And last, by declaring an insurrection, Joe Biden could, in theory, escalate it, should there be violence, to martial law during a declaration of emergency and insurrection, postponing the 2024 elections or canceling them altogether until the rebellion, whether it actually is or isn't, until the rebellion is quashed and people can go to the polling places safely without fear. This is the way they will do this. Should there become violence, he will not hesitate to pit the National Guard versus the armed federal mercenaries in some of these agencies that have now been armed and trained. The Post Office, the Social Security Office, FEMA, NASA, all these others that are now carrying arms, IRS. These are not the people that sit behind the desk behind a computer. These are actual mercenaries that now are carrying guns and deployed to the field so that he does not violate the Constitution by deploying American troops. Now, that's not to say he won't, because by this time, the Constitution will be torn to shreds, and it's only a suggestion to these idiots anyway. But the ultimate goal is to destroy the opposition and complete the total power and retaining power for the Democrat Party, for the Rhino Republicans such as Mitch McConnell, Langford out of Oklahoma, Thune out of North Dakota, and others that all they care about is retaining power and defeating Trump. But in the meantime, we will be the victims, and we already are, unless we take a stand right now. That's what I wanted to say to you. I want you to think about it, chew on it, mull it over. Leave me your comments. Biden wants this to happen, but more than Biden is Obama. He's the one behind this. And he is implementing Saul Alinsky's plan to the T through the puppet in the White House. Greg out.